Hi everyone, welcome back to our tech compilation session. Today we are coming with the new technology called Dell Boomi, in which I'm going to explain you how by using this Dell Boomi we can do the on-premises connections by using the TIBCO EMS. So for that, we have the some of the prerequisite. I am assuming we must have the completed, and then I will show you how we can test and how we can check how we can publish the messages on the EMS queue, and then by using the Dell Boomi how our local ATEM is able to fetch the messages from the on-premises EMS and it is able to process into the cloud. These are the some prerequisite. I'm suppose you have to make sure that is the setup before this to look into that. So make sure you have installed the local ATEM first by visiting the Dell Boomi site. So you make sure you must have downloaded the local on-premises ATEM and which is up and running. For the EMS connection, make sure your EMS server is up and running. On the EMS server, you need to ensure like the queue and topic connections factory must be created. There are few JMS jars which we need to take from the EMS library and need to copy to our lib and user if of the local ATEM. This jar, whatever the libraries which we have the copied backend, then we can verify looking into from the platform itself, looking into the ATEM properties. Once we have made the copied and the libraries are available, we need to restart the local system to make the jar will be effective into the ATEM environment. So how to do these steps that I have already captured into one of my blog. So once you will visit this blog, you will able to see what are the prerequisites you need to do. So these are the steps you need to make sure how to download and install on your as per the Windows machine or Unix machine. You need to, as per the operating system, which is 32-bit or 64-bit, you need to download and install. Make sure you have EMS server and EMS server is up and running. Then you need to, by executing this command, you need to create the connection factories. After that, you need to place this necessary jar into the local ATEM lib and user lib folders. Okay, the same could be done from the Dell Boomi logging with the local ATEM is attached. So like this TIBJMS admin, TIBJMS app, TIBJMS jar, these are. After that, need to restart the ATEM service. How we can create the local connections by when we create the Dell Boomi process. So this is the step I have shared, like how we can configure our connection. Once we configure the connection, then it is the matter to how we can create the operations, because for the each and every process, whenever we create the connector into the Dell Boomi, so two things are very important to use the connection and operations. So these are the two operations I have created, like receive from EMS queue, send to EMS queue. So how this will look like? So this is the start shape. Here we can see this is the connector kind of the JMS. What the action it is doing? It is the get action. So this is the connection. This is the operations. So this kind of configuration we need to do. So let's quickly we can see our code. So moving to the code. Here I can show you suppose if we are going to first check our ATEM. So this is my local ATEM which is up and running. Okay. So in the local atom, there is the one runtime environment. We can see that under the runtime properties we have seen the install library. So in install library, so we can verify it basically by just selecting JMS. So you can say the JMS 2 jar, the tip JMS jar, tip JMS admin jar. So these jars are there. Looking into the backend, we can see this is the Boomi. This is the Boomi atmosphere. So I have the my local atom. So that is there at the installed locally on premises. Here looking into the lib, if you see here, we can able to say the JMS jar, a tip JMS tip admin jar. So that is already we have placed at the locally here, which means that this is the reason we are able to see in the runtime environment. So what are the install libraries are there, we are able to see here. Now we are going to see our build path. So for that I have created one of the process. So let's see what I have created in the process. So we have one XML profile. So that XML profile is excuse me. So that XML profile is basically nothing but contact details, which is keeping like the contact, the first name, last name, email. So this is the it's containing. This is the basically connector in which we have the some of the operations. So looking into the, now you may ask like where is the connection. So the best and recommended approach is to we should not create the connection at the particular interface specific or at a particular fix specific. So it's better to keep into the share format, so that is the accessible by the multiple interfaces. So what I have done, I have put one of the connections folders there, and there I am putting all the shared connection, and that is the accessible across every interface. So here I have created the connection for the JMS, you can say the local EMS. So these are the details I have given for the connections. So this we need to configure accordingly. You can say my local EMS server is up and running. So this is my local EMS server which is up and running, and that EMS server I am accessible through the gems. So by using the gems tool, I am accessing my EMS server. So by using that, we will able to verify like whether the messages are coming or not, by when we will publish or receive. So by looking into the queue, we will able to verify. So our EMS connection has done. We have created one profile. Coming back to our operations, so we have created the multiple operations, like one is the just to send to EMS queue. So this is the destination. One is the receive EMS queue. So this is the destination from where we are receiving the messages. This is the destination where we are publishing the response. This is the destination also where we are publishing the response. So 4 operations we have created. So let's see into the process how we have orchestrated. So this is the process which it will look like. So this is our start shape. So that is the nothing but the connector. Okay, so this connector type is the JMS. The action for this start shape and connector is to get the message. The connection is pointing nothing but the JMS connection. So if you see, this is nothing but the JMS connection which is pointing to the local locally running EMS server. So that we have pointed here. We are receiving from the EMS. So this is the operations we have attached here. So from this queue, we are basically on this queue, we are listening and receiving the request. So this is the here. This is the just for the one message set we have used to just to capture the current data. This is the try and catch we have used for the in case of the any exception which is occurring. So that is going to catch, and by using this retry count, this is going to retry the if the one time the exception is occurred, so it is going to retry one more time to process that request. So after that we have used the one of the data process SIP. So the purpose of this data process SIP to in our request, if you see here, so this is the kind of the request we'll get. So let me make one more. Yeah, so suppose this is the request which we are getting here. So our format of request will be in this. So we will have the multiple contact request. Okay, so we'll have the multiple contact, and so that contact is the repeating one, and that will be wrapped into the one contact. So this will be the one request. So we have to split the data by using the each contact within that request. So because this will be considered as a one document, but for the once we'll receive, we have to break on the basis of the contact. So that's why we have used here the data processor. So in which what we are doing, basically we are splitting that particular document which we have received as an input on the basis of the contact. Okay, so this is going to make our one document into the multiple documents, into the multiple requests. So on the basis of the contacts, we are on the basis of contact we are splitting it. We'll see while we'll trigger to test it. Now here we are using the route. So basically the route shape basically has been used to conditionally send the document through the different execution path based on the sum of the conditions which will get evaluated. So on the accordingly that is the going to send. So you can say we have used the equal to one route value we have used to equal to John. So which is telling, if you see this, so that is basically looking the profile element which is our XML. The profile is contact.xml. It is checking the first name of that particular contact. So if the first name equal to John, so now the document, that split document is going to redirect to this path. Otherwise remaining will going to the redirect with this path. Again at this place we have used the decision shapes. So this decision shape is basically checking whether the first value like display name John Doe Smith something, if we can say the first for that particular profile, that context XML, the last name of the element, you can see here the last name. So the last name contact, okay, if the last name equal to a static value of the Smith, the last name for the any of the contact which is the equal to the Smith, so they have to go through this path, true path. Otherwise it is going to the false path. If it is going to the false path, it is nothing but our one sub process call. So we have created one more sub processes. If you see here, gen related processes. So this is just receiving the receiving the John data and just putting the message, and that's it. So this is the just the one more functionality which I have tried to cover inside that, how we can also call the sub processes. So by using this video, we will able to understand how we can also do the parent child process calls here. So now on the basis of this, we have used the two more connectors, which is the basically using to, so one connector we have used, the connector is the JMS connector to receive the message. Here we have used the same JMS connector, same with the same connection, but they are not receiving, but they are actually publishing and sending to the another queue. So this is the one response they are sending, and this is also sending the response to the another destination. But every connector are using the same our EMS connections. So this is the pretty much simple. Okay, so first let's test it. So for that, let me clear our all the queues and hope our Jane Smith, John Smith, that is fine. So let's use this XML in order to test our this process. So what I will do, I will first use this James, and this is the my Dell Boomi input request. So this is the input queue. I am going to publish this message over there. So let's see, our message has been published. Now let's go and test. So remember, here we have using the on premises, which means the local atom. So we need to select the local atom only, because the processing will be done locally by using this atom only. So although our Dell Boomi is the IPA solution, we know it, okay, and that is the in the cloud. So our platform will going to make the internal communication to this local atom in order to process this. So we'll go to here. We don't have any extension kind of things whether we need to test, so we will not use it. Just run the test and see it is how this is behaving. So it's loading. It's loading. Yes, so we can see this is the started. But yeah, so we can see now the message, this has been processed. So how we can, let's check it. So what the message we have received, we will able to see this. So this was our request which we published on the queue. So we are able to see this. Now you can see this is the input for this. After that we can see we had in our initial request 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 contact. Now here we can see our entire single document has been split into the 5 documents. So you can see here. So each 5 document will have the different contacts. So this is the first contact. Similar way, this will be the second contact. So all the 5 contact has been now moved into the different documents. So our purpose of this split is done. Now as per this transition, we can say this is for the equal to John. So if you see here, okay, so only one document was there for the John. Okay, So just check the output.response queue. You can see the output.response queue has the v.0.1. Okay, v.0.1. So it is the there. Okay. Now we can see here. So this has done. Now in this default, this is the checking. What was the checking for the? That is the John Day or Smith. So we can say with the Smith, we have the only one as the this. So that is the Jane Doe. This is the Smith. This is the John. So John has been moved here, and rest which is coming, that is the Smith. So that is going here. So if you see the output, you can say the Jane Smith is there. So if you see here the output response v02, we have the one dog. This. Now if we'll see the remaining, so we had a 5, 2 has been processed. So where all the remaining 3 has gone. So let's go to the process call. You can see here the 3 documents has been moved to the sub process call. So that is the Rajiv, Priyanka and Ananya. So these the 3 which didn't satisfy the this John and Smith conditions, so they have executed the false path, and this is the nothing but our. So they are receiving this data and they are processing it. Just for the message it is capturing and they are ending. This is the just for the sub process call, how we can use this. We can also see here the view log. So here we can see the log details. So receive, like you can say receive message. So one document we have received, try catch. That you can see the executing routing sub with the 5 documents. Executing routing sub with the 5 documents. See the split. Executing with 1 document, a split result in the file document. So from where also we can verify it. Now moving to next. So this is the send to EMS, send one message, executing connector with the, so that is the maybe for the John. The first executing again decision with 4 document. So in that 4 document, 1 document sent to the for Smith to the queue, and the remaining 3 we can see here executing process call save with the 3 documents. So by using that also we can verify these things, how many the documents has been splits, and on the basis of the like the route and as well as the decisions, so how the document is getting closed. So basically in this we can conclude here like how to use the local atom. So basically here the on premises integration we have seen, as well as the JMS connector, how to use the JMS connector, how we can split the document, how basically we can use the route documents from the one path to another path, and apart from that also how we can on the basis of these true and false by using the decision logic shapes, we can also move the document flow from the one path to another path. Along with that, we have also learned how we can use the sub process calls to like modularize the processes and to break our processes into the multiple on the basis of the functionality to make a parent child. So hope you have enjoyed this video and keep learning. Thank you very much for your watching. Thanks.